Storm Center here at the Weather Network as we continue to monitor this system that's bringing plenty of snow to southern Ontario, eventually making its way to Atlantic Canada on your Sunday evening. Strong wind gusts already being seen there. You can see the waves extremely high. And we also have some ice pellets that could be seen. I'll tell you about the timing on this, but Toronto, you've already seen plenty of snow this winter. Definitely different than last winter, right? Well, more is in your forecast. We've already seen 7 centimeters, in fact, fall as of Saturday evening, and still more left to come as we monitor this system right here Sunday morning, continuing with the snow through the afternoon. As we head into the evening, we do get a little bit of a clearing across the GTA, but then we see these bands here. Those are all lake effect bands. Yes, with blowing winds and all that snow that already fell, that could certainly make for some reduced visibility on the roadways. So just travel with caution. If you do need to, I would highly recommend you don't travel on your Sunday, especially if you're traveling across the 401 series highway. We could still see upwards of 30 centimeters fall through the Ottawa area as we head into your day on Monday. Now, the storm is going to make its move towards Atlantic Canada Sunday evening in through Monday morning, bringing with it 87-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts in Halifax. Also, we could be seeing some freezing rain. What does that mean? That means the roads could become slick and slippery. You'll certainly want to take caution in Atlantic Canada if you do need to travel as we continue to monitor some of these highways here, Highway 101, Highway 103, and Highway 102. Stay with us here at the Weather Network as we continue to monitor this system. And as I mentioned, more snow on the way. I highly recommend if you're in southern Ontario to avoid unnecessary travel on your Sunday. This system spanning from Toronto all the way to Newfoundland will reach Atlantic Canada at some point. I'll tell you about the timing on that in just a second. So far, as of 11 p.m. on Saturday, Montreal's only seen 2 centimeters, but there's more on the way on Sunday. Hamilton saw 7 centimeters as well as Toronto. Now we have more snow, as I mentioned, on the way. Like for Ottawa, for example, take it note here. Heavy snow is developing through the afternoon, and be aware of whiteout conditions. We could see 2 to 3 centimeters of snow per hour. Now, it will slowly start to ease as we head into the evening and into Sunday night. But if you do need to travel, especially because it's a long weekend in southern Ontario, do keep in mind we still have all of this snow left to fall. And as it continues, we finally get a little bit of a lull there for Toronto and Hamilton Sunday overnight. But many of you would be sleeping by this point. Now, this system is eventually going to reach Atlantic Canada on your Sunday evening in through Monday, bringing with it widespread snowfall, upwards of 20 centimeters for Charlottetown, 5 centimeters for St. John's. But it's not just the snow that we're monitoring. It's strong wind gusts as well. Taking a look at some of these gusts in Halifax, for example, gusting up to 84 kilometers an hour on your Monday morning. And the snow then eventually reaches Newfoundland. So you're going to want to be weather aware all day long and for the next couple of days, at least if you're anywhere in central and eastern portions of the country. And this system is prompting us to be in Storm Center this Sunday as we continue to monitor this active pattern that we've been seeing. Now, by the time Monday rolls around, you can see upwards of 20 centimeters of snow fallen in Charlottetown, Halifax 10 centimeters, St. John's 5 centimeters. But just diving in here to New Brunswick, taking a look at heavy snowfall totals just north of Miramichi, upwards of 50 centimeters possible. North of Woodstock, also 50 centimeters possible. And I want to take you through a little bit of the journey of this storm here. As snow develops Sunday evening, a wintry mix also begins to develop too. That's where we could see freezing rainfall rates up to 2 to 4 millimeters per hour. Freezing rain changing to showers through the overnight, and then your temperatures falling on Monday morning. Alongside all of this, we do have strong wind gusts. If we take a look at Halifax here, we get up to 87 kilometers an hour on your Monday morning, alongside all of this ice accretion that we could see. These colors here, yeah, that's freezing rain. So just be aware if you do need to travel, roads could certainly become treacherous. The snow will eventually make its way to Newfoundland for your Monday. Now, I mentioned the roads getting bad. Well, here's a look at some of the roads that could be impacted. Highway 103, 101, 10, and 102. So again, if you do need to travel, be aware. And Southern Ontario, a similar story for you, except you already got a taste of what this snow experience would be like on your Saturday, because we already saw plenty of snow fallen, but we still could have upwards of 20 centimeters fall in the Hamilton area. Toronto could see upwards of 25 centimeters. Parry Sound, 20 centimeters. Windsor, 10 centimeters as we head into the day on Sunday into Monday. Now, just diving in here to the GTA, as I mentioned, 20 centimeters, but we know what that means for our roadways. And yes, it is Family Day long weekend. So if you do have plans to head out, I would recommend trying to stay home if you can. Try not to go out on these roadways, especially as we head into Sunday afternoon. In through the evening, we do get this clearing here, but we could still see some bands of lake effect snow on your Monday. And that also means reduced visibility on the roadways. We could see whiteout conditions. We've already experienced whiteout conditions with this system, but yes, the winter weather, it just hasn't stopped yet. Still going. All right, taking a look at some of your temperatures across the country. Winnipeg sitting at minus 21 this afternoon. Regina minus 27 this afternoon. And Calgary minus 16. But those overnight conditions certainly dropping down, minus 42 with the wind chill this evening. That certainly means you will want to remain inside. That is dangerously cold weather. In fact, some of the coldest air you would experience just this century. Now, you finally do get a little bit of relief, especially if you're in Calgary, as we get up above the freezing mark, but you will likely have to wait until next weekend for that, as we can see this climb upwards of 7 degrees. That will be quite the treat. Now, if you are on the far west coast, do have an umbrella handy for the next couple of days, as we do have a soggy pattern. And here's a look at the next 7 days in Vancouver. We are in storm center as we continue to monitor this system that is bringing in plenty of snow. Like I mentioned, they've already seen snow across southern Ontario, more snow left to fall, especially across the east as the system keeps pushing its way to the east. I'll talk about those storm center, that storm information in just a second. But first, I want to show you some of these dangerously cold temperatures this evening across the prairies. Minus 42 in Regina with the wind chill. That could be some of the coldest air that you would experience this century. Now, you are above, or I should say below 22 degrees below your normal, and you can finally get some relief in Calgary as we finally bump up above the freezing mark later on in your work week. If you're on the far west coast, just keep an umbrella handy for the next couple of days, as you may need it, especially with this widespread rainfall coming in on your Tuesday. And here's a look at the next 7 days in Vancouver. 8 degrees, but you will have to contend with all of those all of that rain. Now, here's some of the storm information that we've been talking about all program long as we continue to monitor this system that eventually will leave through the west, or leave east rather, on your Monday. But you will have to still deal with some lake effect snow. Now, by the time all of this is said and done, you could still see upwards of 20 centimeters of snow through the Hamilton area. Check out Ottawa. You could see 30 centimeters of snow. I want to take you through a little bit of this timeline here. Sunday morning, that's where you'll see the most of the blowing snow. But as we head into the afternoon, a heavy snow with whiteout conditions could be seen. Now, the snowfall will finally ease through the evening like I showed you there, but do be aware that we could still have some flurries in your forecast with all that lake effect snow. Now, this will eventually make its way further east, like I mentioned, to Atlantic Canada, where we are not only monitoring the snow, but also freezing rain. That means slippery roads, but also we have plenty of strong wind gusts here too, 89 kilometers an hour in Halifax with all that snow. That could certainly blow the snow around. Eventually, this system will make its way to Newfoundland by your Monday afternoon. So if you do need to travel for the next 2 days, I would say try to avoid traveling, especially because of all of this ice pellet accumulation we could see through Nova Scotia. New Brunswick, plenty of snow there too. Just north of Miramichi, could see upwards of 50 centimeters of snow. Maybe we'll receive more videos of people with snow halfway covering their doorway. Hopefully you remain safe. Make sure you have all the emergency preparation at hand. Emergency kits in your car. Make sure that you're all stocked up with food, and be prepared just in case there's any power outages. We know what happens when ice forms on the power lines. Then we get a big, strong wind gust, and there you have it, the power outage. Now, here's the rest of your winter storm timeline. I'll leave it there. We're going to dive more into this system and how it's not only impacting us here in Canada, but also how it's impacting us in the States. All right, Kevin McKay, our meteorologist here, can you debunk some of this system winter weather?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of it to go around.
I know that they can get into the minus 30s or so.
Well, this is extraordinary. This is going to be wind chills